Hey guys, welcome back to Everything Anime Podcast. I'm one of your host, Shinry, here with Everything Anime Podcast, everything from anime, manga, video games, TV shows, and everything on the topic we're talking about. Today's video is on One Piece Chapter 1162. Will we see Emu's face in the next chapter, 1163? That's my speculation. That's also the title of this video, but there is a lot that goes on, and some unexpected shit at the end that I was not expecting, which I guess the title spoils anyway. But anyways, we're about to get into it. Now, when we last left off, everybody is on God Valley. Roger Pirates are here. Warp is here. The Rocks Pirates are here. And like, they all were clashing. Kaido got his hands on a devil fruit after knocking out Big Mom. Or that may be having this chapter. I might be skipping ahead. Forgive me if I just spoiled that. But just like, oh no, it was that Big Mom, Warp, and Big Mom, Kaido, and White were running away from Gorp. Yeah, that was the big thing. That was the big thing last chapter. It was like, how strong is Gorp? Okay, we know Gorp is strong because he takes on Roger. And Roger defeated all of these guys, and he never had a double fruit power. So obviously, and Gorp didn't have a double fruit, so obviously, Gorp and Roger got to be on the same level, but still, that is insane. You know, how strong that is implying that Gorp is. Or confirming, because we already know Gorp is strong. But yeah, and then I don't remember exactly how that chapter ended, but when this chapter opens up, the first panel, we already get a lot of information. The first is that Rox and St. Garling are locked in battle. They're going at it. Roger in another planet is escaping with Rayleigh and Shaky. Rayleigh's holding Shaky. And again, I love the full circle moment with these two. I love Rayleigh because we know that him and Shaky are currently together in the current time skip, or current present day, and we know like, ever since they met them on Sabi Archipelago in that restaurant, and then, you know, Shaky used to be the empress of wherever the fuck Boa Hancock's from. I forgot the name of that. I want to call it Lily Garden or something like that. Lily Island. But she was the empress there, and, you know, she was every man wanted to be with her, but she wanted to be a Rayleigh, and Rayleigh was like pretending like he wasn't interested in her. But in this, it's confirmed that they do love each other. Like, Rayleigh's trying to tell Shaky, like, while he's running with her, like, Shaky, there's something I have to tell you. And Shaky's like, you don't have to say it, I already know. Really love that. I love when authors build up something and it pays off later and you get that full circle moment. Love that so much. The third thing we learn is that the treasure that Goldie Roger wanted to escape with, that's how the chapter ended. Goldie Roger and his crew got Shaky. They said, let's get treasure, let's get the fuck up out of here. That's what it was. So yeah, I just did spoil in the beginning about Kaido. But anyways, that's what the treasure that they're hunting for. It's between St. Garling and Rox, and it's between where Roger and the other pirates are escaping with Shaky. The first other thing I was curious about, or what we learned is among the treasure, are devil fruits. Specifically, the ones that Ivankov and Kuma learn to develop their powers, being the pawpaw fruit, because Kuma gets his hand on one of them, and Ivankov's like, we don't know what devil fruit it is, just eat it. It's going to help us get out of here. It's going to help save us. Because we don't know how the slaves escaped. This chapter confirms how the slaves escaped on God Valley. They were not saved by the Marines. They were not saved by Gorp. They were not saved by the Roger Pirates. They were saved by Kuma and his pawpaw fruit. And I was curious if this is where Ivankov got her powers too, or his powers too. They, them, I don't know what Ivankov declares himself as, but that's not the case. Ivankov almost had Kaido's powers for a second, okay? Ivankov did not get his powers in God Valley, but it is confirmed that Kuma got his powers in God Valley. Now, before Ivankov can eat this fruit, Big Mom pins him to the wall and takes the devil fruit from him. And we already knew that Big Mom had the soul fruit, so we know it for her because Prometheus and Zeus are currently, like, she can currently summon those two, and probably her hat too. But she stopped Ivankov from eating that fruit. And for a moment, this is before I knew that it was Kaido's devil fruit, I was like, oh, this must be like something, the fruit that she's going to give to her one of her children. And I believe later it's confirmed it's called the fish fruit, which kind of confused me again, because I was like, Kaido didn't eat a fish fruit, he became a dragon. But again, it'll all make sense later. Also, apparently, our hero Gorp is still a hero in our eyes. Because Gorp, I was like, Gorp, how could you be a part of the world government and want Luffy to join, and want your son Dragon to join, and want Ace to join, when you say that they, like, the Marines allow the celestial dragons to do this disgusting manhunt. You just allowed them to kill people and turn them into slaves. And Gorp on this island, he's calling Sengoku, rages in Gorp's eyes. He's like, Sengoku, what is going on this island? What is happening here? And Sengoku's like, I had heard about the manhunt, but I didn't know it was real. Once again, giving us reasons to like Sengoku as well, because he was a former fleet admiral before Akinu, but still making us love Gorp, because Gorp had no idea this was going on. He was chasing Roger, specifically the guy Valley. He didn't know about this manhunt. He didn't know that's why Roger went here. Well, Roger went here to say shaky, but he didn't know like it was all for this manhunt. So I really love that Gorp redeemed himself in his eyes again, because I was like, there's no way Gorp would allow himself to be a Marine if this is what the Celestial Dragons do. But that's probably why he didn't stop Luffy when he went to save Ace. One, because he cares about Roger. He cares about his son. He knows Ace is innocent. Ace couldn't help what he was born as. And obviously he couldn't hurt his grandson, Luffy, you know. Also, even though Rox is strong and putting up a fight, he didn't know how to take down the Holy Knights. And thus him and St. Garling are like going at it. And he's like, oh yeah, and plus we start seeing like Emu's devil warping powers have turned like some of his family into demons. Among them being like his grandmother and father, or I think it's Eris's grandmother and father. I'm not sure. It's not confirmed exactly whose parents it are, but you know, since they are married, Ares and Rox, it could be both of theirs. So he tried to run away with his wife Ares, but Ares didn't, which I didn't see. Oh, I mentioned it here. I didn't see a baby in this panel, but she has Blackbeard. Ares has Blackbeard in her. Ares has Blackbeard / Teach in her arms as a baby, like a 2-year-old, and then Rox has Ares over his shoulder. He's running away from the demons. Turn the demon warping he was done to his family, his grandmother and his father. And then, you know, St. Garling, he's like, I keep cutting this dude down and he keeps getting back up. He's immortal. I don't know how to stop him. However, though he couldn't take St. Garling down, he did do a lot of damage to him. Like, St. Garling's on the ground. He's like, damn, all these wounds I got to recover. It's kind of like Scopper Gavin. Scopper Gavin didn't kill St. Summers, but he damaged St. Summers enough where St. Summers was like, oh, well, it's going to take a while to heal. I got to stop the fight because Scopper Gavin's going to kill me, or actually might kill me if I keep trying to fight him. So I was like, okay, Rock's been standing no business. Rox took down these he might not have killed him, but he's getting on his Holy Knights pretty easily. And a few panels later, that's where it's revealed that Ares has Blackbeard to teach him her arms. That's why I was kind of confused, and I clarified it early. We also learned something interesting, that the fruit Ivankov, this is where we learned it. The fruit that Ivankov almost ate was a fish fruit, which Big Mom intended to give to her son Katakuri. So at this point, Katakuri didn't have the what's it called? The bean fruit, the jelly fruit, the mochi fruit. The one that kind of mimics Luffy's devil fruit. So Big Mom was like, oh, I'll give this fruit to my son Katakuri. So that means Katakuri potentially almost had the power to turn into a dragon like Kaido. But again, I'm confused why it's called the fish fruit when Kaido is a dragon. I don't know, that might be explained later. Maybe there's like a certain kind of fish that's a dragon. But I was like, either way, Kaido knocks Big Mom out. He's like, oh, hell no, bitch. I'm taking that devil fruit. And Big Mom is out of the fight, as far as you know. Because Big Mom is in the final panel. Big Mom is not in that final panel. Like, Big Mom is laid out. Kaido took her ass out. Meanwhile, Dragon was trying to still escape with Shanks, and Ares was trying to escape with Teach. We get to see them both in a panel, like Ares running one way with Teach, and then Shanks running one way with, Dragon running one way with Shanks. So I feel like in 2 more chapters, One Piece Film Red is going to be canon. In my previous video, I said is One Piece Film Red canon because Shanks found Yuta in a treasure chest, and in that same flashback, Shanks found Yuta in a treasure chest. So I'm thinking, because, you know, Kuma didn't free Shanks and Dragon. Dragon probably put Shanks in that treasure chest, and that's when, you know, Dragon leaves the world government. He's like, oh, fuck this. I'm not being a Marine. I'm going to become a revolutionary. I'm going to fight for the people. And then Ares, we don't know how she escapes yet, but obviously she might die. I think, again, Whitebeard's going to save Blackbeard. That's my other theory, that Whitebeard adopts Blackbeard because Ares dies, and maybe they see Rox die. Again, next few chapters could confirm that. That might even be a better title. Will Kaido be adopted by, will Teach be adopted by Whitebeard, and will Dragon put Shanks in a treasure chest? Now, speculation. Well, actually, my next speculation is that Emu's face might be shown. But anyways, it has been confirmed that Kaido is some kind of dragon because immediately after eating the devil fruit, he's like, oh, this power is amazing. He flies up into the air and shit. Pretty cool panel. I was like, okay, I like this. Meanwhile, the rest of the Roger Pirates got their hands on treasure, including some devil fruits. So I'm not sure if the Roger Pirates got some devil fruits here. We know Goldie Roger never had devil fruit, but like the Roger Pirates got their hand on the treasure. So again, kind of confirming that Shanks could be put in that treasure chest. I'm putting it out there again. Shanks could be put in there. And then, this is where it's confirmed that Kuma uses his Paw fruit abilities to save members of the Davy clan from the manhunt who survived, including himself and Ivankov. And I was like, again, this is so much great world building. We know how the slaves escaped God Valley. Kuma uses Paw fruit. He's like, where do you want to go? They're just like, anywhere, somewhere safe, somewhere where we can be hidden. And he's like, very well. Just like he sent the Straw Hats off in Sabi Archipelago when they were going up against, what is his name? Admiral Kizaru, and the Straw Hats didn't know about Conqueror's Haki. They didn't have a way to deal with the Admiral, so Kuma had sent them off. And he's doing this to the people here, and he's obviously going to do it himself. He's going to do it to Kuma. Ivankov, and that's how they're going to escape. Great fucking world building. A great full circle moment. Everything's come back together. We are in the final arc of One Piece. We are in the final arc, guys. But then we get the big fucking finale. St. Garling and the Holy Knights are down, and the only ones left standing are the Rocks Pirates, the Roger Pirates, and Warp. And that's when, you know that sound when, in Super Smash Bros., when the alarm goes off like Challenger approaching? Motherfucking Emu appeared. New Challenger has arrived. I was like, oh shit. This was never mentioned by the news or Morgan, who knows everything. This was never mentioned. It was only mentioned that Goldie, Roger, and Warp teamed up to take down Rocks on God Valley, and they killed him. But King Harold was still supposed to show up and kill Rocks. So there is still something crazy that can happen in these next two chapters, or maybe even the next chapter, that all this whole battle goes down. Kaido, Whitebeard, Rocks, Warp, and Roger versus Emu. And I don't think it's a battle royale because they look at Emu and they say, what is that? And Rocks says, the world. Bitch! What do you mean, the world? Are we going to see Emu's face? Is it going to finally be confirmed? Is he going to get out of that black darkness? Is it going to be a girl? Is it going to be a boy? Is it going to be a thing? Is it going to be a demon? Is it going to be the devil? Are we doing Black Clover where the devil shows up himself? I don't know. But I am so fucking excited. This is the biggest piece of history we've been wanting to know about since the Void Century. We don't even know what the Void Century was. We just know like the world's going to raise by 200 meters, basically drowning all the land. And then that it was an ancient city and the three ancient weapons were used to fight Emu 900 years ago. So he's obviously some kind of demon or devil or something like that. And Sun God Nika was there. It is just crazy. And again, King Harold has not shown up yet. King Harold, who's been a part of this whole thing. And again, we got to get to 14 years ago too. So probably like 5 more chapters of flashback. I don't know. I'm assuming. But here's my speculation. King Harold is still somehow responsible for Rocks' death. Or just showing up in general. Maybe he fights alongside of Rocks. I don't know. But we know that giants are part of the world government now. Secondly, Rocks will be, Gorp. No, speculation. Dragon is going to put Shanks in the treasure chest on Goldie Roger's ship. That's how Shanks escapes and didn't get captured by the Holy Knights again. 3, I think Ares is going to die somehow in this battle. Maybe that's how Rocks dies. Rocks is trying to protect Ares. Ares gets stabbed. Whitebeard, who was loyal to Rocks, saves Teach, his son. And he's like, I'm not going to let you kill this child because we know Whitebeard is all about family. That's Whitebeard's whole thing. And that's why, he kind of forgives Teach, even though he knows that Teach isn't the one Goldie Roger was waiting for. Because he also knows, like, Teach, I understand that you were wronged and they killed your father and they tried to kill you just because you existed. But you're not the one Goldie Roger was waiting for. Are we going to see Emu's face? So much speculation. I'm so excited. Anyways, I don't drag this out. I don't know when the next chapter of One Piece is going to drop, but I cannot wait to talk to you guys about it. Meanwhile, I am working on a video for Halloween. It's BioShock 2. I've already posted a preview about it. It's way shorter and way different than BioShock 1. So I'll talk about it when we get there about my thoughts and my relationship with it. I'm also working on Shaman King Volume 3. That video will probably come out sometime at Thanksgiving. You know, really loving the Shaman King manga, so hope you guys enjoy it and stay tuned with me there. And of course, you know, check out my books in the link tree below and, you know, on Amazon and things like that. I really do appreciate guys' support. I don't care if this video gets 1 like. I don't care if this video gets 1 view. I just love talking about anime and manga and talking about it with you guys. And I hope you guys enjoy it too with me. So anyways, I'll see you guys next video. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Hey guys, this video was sponsored by me, the author of the Shinry series, the Chronicles of Wayne, and Monsterverse. So I figured I'd do this outro a little bit different by showing you guys what you guys will be checking out. So, the Shinry series starts with Book 1, Shobu Samurai Project Aryoku. 10 years after the death of his parents, Shobu Samurai returns home seeking vengeance, but instead faces a choice to save his home from shadow creatures, blood beasts, and an organization once thought dead. Shinry's Shobu Samurai starts at $9.99. And if you love anime, manga, Naruto, One Piece, Bleach, Yu Yu Hakusho, Fairy Tail, Shaman King, Rave Master, Zatch Bell, anything like that, the Shinry series is definitely the series for you. You'll definitely want to check it out. The Sword of Light is probably the thickest one so far. And then these books are 2. This is Enter the Dread Zone Tournament. And the series original ending, Arado, the Legendary Conjuring Master. So, and I'll just show you guys some of the covers. Really proud of all of these. But I hope you guys check it out. If you don't like that, I also have the current published books for the Chronicles of Wayne, Love Be Damned, Cotton Candy, Full Moons, Fabled Lovers, A Cursed Virgin's Bite. If You Go Where Monsters Dance, Red Will Rain Over Your House. Love Be Damned. Now, the Chronicles of Wayne is about a geeky guy, or a nerdy guy in high school. His senior year, he has a crush on the hottest guy in school, because of course he does. He's only got one best friend, and her name is Barb. Well, the hottest guy in school turns out to be a werewolf. And to make the story more interesting, he bites Wayne and turns Wayne into the first ever wolfman in the last 10 years. And because of that, it was also a sacred law that wolfmen should never be created. I don't want to get into too much of the Chronicles of Wayne without spoiling it, but I can tell you it's very short. This one sells for $6.99, and Love Be Caged right after it. The ending of this trilogy, Love Be Liberated, comes out in October. So I'm going to definitely do a more full in-depth review of this one. But yeah, it's an LGBT fantasy fiction story about werewolves, vampires, white witches, a dark warlock, and, well, many, many more surprises to come. So if you guys like to read, I definitely recommend. These are all the books so far in the Shinry series, except for Shinry's Beginning. I do have that one, but it's just not here with me. But yeah, I appreciate a like, support, or just a review on Amazon. Either way, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a great day.